Homeless children around the world. Do you think you could live on just $1 a day? According to Sally Raffel, in her article, Children, Hunger, and Poverty, published in 2014 in the Journal of Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Nursing, out of the 6.2 billion people in today's world, 1.2 billion live on less than $1 a day. There are children all around the world living in extreme poverty and homelessness. I've had the chance to interact with homeless children, and until you see the effects that living that way can have on them, it's hard to really feel for them or even want to help them because we don't know what all they've been through. The issue of homeless children is growing and will continue to grow, and it's such a big problem because it's affecting the development and health of many children. We are going to talk about homeless children in the United States, then discuss its prevalence in the African country of Ghana, and talk about how you can get involved today to help these homeless children. So first, let's talk about homeless children in the United States. In the article, To Create a Better World for Children and Families, The Case for Ending Childhood Poverty, published in Academic Pediatrics in 2013, Bernard Dreyer says, children are the poorest group in our society, and children younger than 5 years of age are even poorer, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. He goes on to say that considering the importance of early brain development, this is a national disgrace. Children are being neglected, and they really have nowhere to turn for help. Furthermore, in 2013, Sarah Hess said, child homelessness in America is greater today than in the days immediately following the devastation of Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. In the article, Keeping Homeless Kids Homeless, How the Homeless Children and Youth Act Addresses Children Who are Excluded from Receiving Housing in the John Marshall Law Review. So children in the U.S. are not very easily finding their way out of their homelessness, as we can see. So now that we've talked about homelessness in America, let's talk about homeless children in Ghana. A study was done in the British Journal of Developmental Psychology article, Children's Emotion Regulation Across and Within Nations, a comparison of Ghanaian, Kenyan, and American youth, published in 2012, to compare the nation's youth in Ghana, Kenya, and the United States. Moreland, Zeman, Perry Parrish, and Anderson say Ghana and Kenya share similarities with the U.S., including English as the official language and their British colonization history. Also, both nations have relatively similar GDP and average years of education. Based on these facts, Ghana is an interesting region to compare to the United States because they have a lot of similarities, even though they're in completely different parts of the world. Osai Twum and Wasson say in their article published in 2012, Neglected Populations Safeguarding the Health of Street-Involved Children in Ghana, found in the Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences, there are more than 20,000 street-involved children in the capital city of Ghana. They go on to say that an overwhelming number of children migrate to the streets for economic reasons or because of family disintegration. So in other words, many of these kids are forced into their homelessness because their families can't support them financially or their families are being split up. The rise in homelessness is creating even bigger problems because many children are contracting malaria and other deadly diseases. The number of child deaths is only going to increase if we don't find a way to help these children. So how is homelessness really affecting children? Dreyer says that long-term rather than short-term poverty is associated with the most severe impact on cognitive and social-emotional development. So children who are experiencing homelessness for long periods of time might have problems with problem solving or thought processes, handling their emotions in a healthy manner, and relationship building, and other basic developmental behaviors like this. Also, many children are dying because of unhealthy eating habits. Na and Chow talk about the effects of these eating habits in their article published in 2010 entitled Issues and Challenges in Defeating World Hunger, found in Food Science and Technology. They say that hunger and malnutrition are the underlying causes of more than half of all child deaths, killing nearly 6 million children each year. After seeing these effects that homelessness can have on a child, it's important that we do all we can to help them. And finally, why is this affecting us? How are homeless children really making a big difference to us, and what can we do to help them? Well, maybe it's not directly affecting you or me right now, but that's not an excuse for us to ignore the issue. In the United States, we see homeless people on the street probably on a regular basis, and it doesn't always take a big action to help them. we can help in small ways by volunteering at a local shelter or donating food and clothes to children who have nothing. The next question would be, how can we help people in Ghana? They're so far away. What can we really do to make an impact? There's an organization called UNICEF, which stands for the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. They work in 192 countries and territories to promote the rights and well-being of children. There are ways that we can get involved with UNICEF to help stop homelessness. We can apply for jobs with this organization, we can volunteer with them, or we can simply donate money to help support their efforts. To conclude, the number of homeless children around the world continues to grow every day. Homelessness is affecting children because they aren't developing properly, nor are they staying healthy. Children are going to continue to suffer because they can't escape this situation on their own, especially not without our help. And even though we often can't make a huge difference when dealing with a problem of this magnitude, it's important that we understand the causes and effects of homelessness so that we can do all we can to help minimize this dilemma.